Good morning, YouTube family. Martinez Country Home here. Today's Tuesday, January 25th, 2022. Today, guys, I wanted to talk about the main thing I wanted to talk about, guys, is about the banking. Reason I'm talking about want to talk about the banking was because on, I believe it was Sunday night, I watched a video from I believe it's called Economic Ninja, and he was talking about how Chase Manhattan, the institution that he banks with, was closed. There was people in the building, but they were closed. They only had people. They had people in the building, but it wasn't open. Doors weren't open. They had to go through I believe they had to go through either the drive-through or ATM. No, actually, scratch that. You couldn't even go through the drive-through. It was just closed. So, and they caught my attention because I believe it was that the day before on a Saturday. There's an app that's out there called Nextdoor app, and it's basically broken into. It's basically broken down into like neighborhoods or areas of a city, things like that, or even towns. It depends. You can expand what kind of posts you can see. And so there was a person that was on there talking about how they bank with this credit union called Randolph Brooks. And Randolph and Brooks used to be Air Force bases that were here in San Antonio. Randolph's still there, but Brooks has been turned into, they call them joint city bases now. It's like a private and military joint venture. Anyway, so this resident or this person starts talking about how the banks, they were freaking out because the banks were closed. They only had this person was talking about how it looked like the banks were closing. They didn't have no drive-through. The only thing they had access to was the ATMs. And as far as I know, a lot of the ATMs, they're limited. At least mine is limited to $600 withdrawal per day. And so this person was talking about how there was nobody there. Their doors were closed. And I started reading the comments, and a lot of people were like, they were kind of being sarcastic, like, well, excuse them for trying to think of their employees, meaning because of the health crisis. But I didn't, when I read that post from that person, I didn't take it like that at all. Because they have, when this health crisis started, it was a while before our banks fully opened. So for a while, they not only closed they closed the windows, the drive-through windows. And then they ended up, it stayed only windows and drive-through. And then it stayed like that. So I think some of the credit unions around here, some of the banks closed because of COVID, right? They didn't want to handle cash, or you have to go through the ATMs. But my point being, guys, is that we're going through not only a health crisis, but we're going through a financial crisis, whether that's natural or whether it's been by design. It's not really the point. The point is that a lot of people were. It told me that a lot of people are not paying attention to what's going on. So most people were focused on the angle of they're closing because of the health crisis, right? Because numbers are rising and they want to protect the employees. Okay, but the way I took it, the way I took these banks shutting down or just opening just ATMs or just having the window, is that what's gonna happen when there's some kind of they can't be no bank run, guys. Okay, in this day and age, bank runs really. I mean, you technically, yeah, but you have your card, your debit card or whatever. You can, or your the bank card, so you can still transact through digital. Okay, you don't necessarily need cash. And when I think about it, honestly, just because there's digital, it's all on the digital screen. I think that's one of the last things we have to worry about. I mean, I might be wrong, of course, but anyway, but a lot of people, and like myself, I like handling cash. I believe because once you don't have any cash in hand, the bank, the institution, the government, they have control of the funds. You know what I'm saying? They can shut it down and say there's some kind of an emergency, or they can freeze your funds. You no longer have a means of exchange. You no longer have something to be able to buy the things that you need. And so that to me was the main thing. And so a person made a comment, talking about how, about the situation. There was a person that made a comment about that, and they jumped on him. They jumped on him, and just that he's being selfish, and the banks are just trying to protect their employees, blah blah blah. And I was like, man, these people are just not getting the point. I mean, so last night, I think it was last night, that same content creator, Economic Ninja, he was talking about how I think he was in Florida, in Orlando. I believe it was in Orlando. He was talking about, I forgot what it was. It had to do with the banking. I'm gonna share the link, both of those videos, guys, in the description. Now, if you're in my channel, I guess I'm preaching to the choir, but it's something to keep aware of, keep note of. The banking. We're also having these supply chain issues, and for whatever reason, whether it's because of the health crisis or whether it's because inflation, for whatever reason, it's happening. And the same thing goes for our economy, for the money, the quote unquote money. It's something that y'all try to stay aware of. I always just keep enough money to pay my bills, whatever bills I got, whatever I pay online. But and another thing, guys, I mean, this is just I'm gonna this is not financial advice, okay? But try not to pay too many things like how do you direct pay, or where they just take out, like every month they'll take out so much from your bank, from your account, because mistakes happen. And when a mistake happens, you're no longer really dealing with people. You're dealing with a machine. You're dealing with a process. Okay, we're in a period of time where we're dealing, a lot of the things that we have to deal with, it's no longer person to person. It's a process. There's really nobody that's held accountable for when there's a mistake. It's blamed on the process. They'll say, well, that's the way that the system is set up, blah blah blah. And so it's a process, guys. We're dealing with a system, and not so much with somebody that we can talk to one-on-one, or somebody that is responsible for there being a mistake on your account or whatever. And it can be a nightmare trying to get your money back, your whatever funds you've lost, or there being a mistake. Time is money, guys. Honestly, time is money, and you're gonna be spending a lot of time, a lot of stress, a lot of worry, unnecessary stress, unnecessary worry because of a mistake, or so try to minimize you being exposed to these risks, to these dangers that are there. I mean, they're there. I see it all the time. I hear it all the time where the internet service or the internet provider took an extra payment, or they took a payment when they weren't supposed to, or whatever. Just try to minimize your exposure to these risks, especially in the banking institutions, because it could be costly to us, not just to our wallet, guys, but also to our frame of mind, to our health. Things are already tough as it is. We're trying to maneuver, and we're trying to navigate these waters, these chaotic times. And so we wanna try to keep those things to a minimum. That's life, right? But the less drama we have to deal with, the better. So I just thought that, because that's happened here, with the banking institutions. I remember when they closed. Like, as a matter of fact, my banking institution just recently opened up on the weekends again. It was a long time. It had to have been more than a year that the only thing that was open were the windows. You couldn't even go to the bank. You couldn't even walk in and conduct business. Then they changed it to where you had to make an appointment, then you could go in, which is at least you could talk to somebody. But now I'm wondering if my bank has gone back to closing its doors. I haven't checked mine, but I've been hearing from a lot of people that a lot of the banks here, a lot of the credit unions, only have the windows open now, and they've closed their lobbies again. So it's something that you might want to check into. Again, try to always, if you can, if possible, try to keep some cash on hand. Every day the dollar's losing value, things are going up, so that's also your money, your cash. If you don't put it to work, guys, it's gonna be losing value. So anyway, guys, I'll leave relevant links in the description, and y'all let me know anything. If y'all see anything crazy, or put it down in the comments. And again, I'll leave relevant links in the description. Y'all take care of each other and love each other out there, because that's what we're here for. God bless.